Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Slows Wrestling Show, your source for all things wrestling and sports entertainment. Live from Palm Harbor, Florida. Coming up, New Japan New Beginning Tampa results, my experience meeting Alex Conlon and Lance Archer, AEW Dynamite results, NXT results, interview with the true champ Andres Reyes, thoughts on Edge returning at the Royal Rumble and full-time to WWE, MVP's return, and more on the Slows Wrestling Show. Welcome back to the Slows Wrestling Show, your source for all things wrestling and sports entertainment. Now here are the results for New Japan Pro Wrestling's New Beginning Tampa show. Mysterioso defeated Clark Connors. Yuji Nagata and Kojima defeated Alex Conlon and Ren Narita. Colt Cabana and Toru Yano defeated TJP and Carl Fredericks. Jeff Cobb defeated Alex Zane. Lance Archer defeated Yoshihashi. And Hiroshi Tanahashi, Rocky Romero, David Finlay, and Juice Robinson defeated Chase Owens, Yujiro Takahashi, Tanga Loa, and Tama Tonga of the Bullet Club. Now I'd like to talk about meeting Alex Conlon and Lance Archer at the New Japan New Beginning Tampa show. So meeting Lance Archer was the coolest thing I've ever experienced at a house show because he was very down to earth, he was very respectful. At first I was afraid to go up to him, but once I did, he was really cool. And I talked to him about his match against Jon Moxley, the death match at Wrestle Kingdom 14. And then after the show was over, on my way out with my dad to his car, we were stopped by Alex Conlon of the New Japan LA Dojo, and we talked to him for about 6 minutes in the parking lot about his career in New Japan so far. And there are some moments in wrestling where you just really appreciate what the wrestlers do and how kind they are to the fans. And I never thought I would meet these guys in person, but it's something I will never ever forget. And that's why I love wrestling and have a huge passion for it, because of how people show respect. And that really goes a long way, and that really made my whole year, for sure. Now here are the AEW Dynamite results. Young Bucks defeated the Butcher and the Blade. Nyla Rose defeated Big Swole. Cody defeated Kip Sabian. Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian defeated Jack Evans and Angelico. And Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz defeated Darby Allin, Mark Quinn, and Isaiah Cassidy. Now here are the NXT results. Finn Balor defeated Trent Seven. Shotzi Blackheart defeated Deonna Purrazzo. Dominic Dijakovic defeated Damian Priest. Tegan Nox defeated Dakota Kai. Kaden Carter defeated Chelsea Green. And Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle defeated the Grizzled Young Veterans. Now here's a special interview I did with the true champion Andres Reyes before his match at Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling's Lethal Legacy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Alex Slows of the Slows Wrestling Show podcast here with the true champ Andres Reyes. Andres, welcome to, and thanks for taking the time to sit in with me on this interview.
Yeah, absolutely. You let me know ahead of time and you didn't freaking assault me like any other interviewers out there. That's how you do it if you want some word with a TC himself, Andres Reyes.
To start off, last time I spoke to you, you mentioned that 2020 will be your year in wrestling.
Absolutely.
At Lethal Legacy, you are in a 5-way cruiserweight match, and if you can pull off a win there, that would be a big way to start off the year for sure. Do you have anything you want to say to the competitors you are facing in this match?
All right, so I dropped the video and I let all my ideas, all my comments about the match. All these guys, yeah, they probably have their own accolades, achievements that they have accomplished. Good for them. Do they want a cookie? I don't care what you have done. I don't care if you were a champion in a different sport or you were like one of the biggest freaking amateur wrestlers out there. You could do whatever the hell you want, but you're stepping in my territory, my sport. This is where I conquered, and I'm the absolute greatest fighter, number one pound for pound fighter to have ever stepped into the professional wrestling scene. So the comment I have is be careful, because I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna knock the living crap out of every single one of them. This is my division, baby. My division.
On the last episode of the Slows of Wrestling Show, I made a prediction that you will come out on top in the 5-way cruiserweight match at Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling's Lethal Legacy.
Smart guy.
How do you plan to make this prediction a reality?
prediction or reality, I'm going to find honestly, it doesn't matter who it is. I'm going to go up to one of those schmucks in that match. I'm going to beat the living hell out of them until they're unconscious, get the win, and then walk out with the W. Doesn't matter. All I know is all of them are going to be too selfish and, too engaged in each other fighting that they're not going to realize that the absolute best is securing the dub.
For 2020, who do you want to issue challenges towards in sports entertainment here in the state of Florida?
So who I want to issue challenges? Honestly, it doesn't matter. You could be the best name in that one promotion. You could be the very best in Florida. You could be the very best in the world. I'm going to go all around. I'm going to freaking take out those very best and show that they're second rate to the TC himself. You want to know who I actually got ideas and who I freaking probably have been thinking would be maybe a suitable opponent for the TC himself? Maybe guys like, Snoop Strikes. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, his name is Cotto Brazil, whatever the hell he wants to be called. Or guys like, I don't know, Troy Hollywood, or freaking, I want to be basic as hell, and then say Hunter Law. Yeah, sure. Those guys they're pretty good. Good in Florida, but not TC level. Or hell, even go one-on-one with my trainers. David Mercury. Put him in a pretzel for one. See if he likes it. Or you know what? Take on Jay Lethal. Might be shooting a little bit too hard, but you know what? I shoot as high as I know I can reach, and I wouldn't mind seeing that matchup go on. I know we'll tear off the roof, and just like any other match, we'll tear off the roof, but there's only one number one. That's me.
Finally, speaking of Jay Lethal, to finish up this interview, on the last episode of the Slows Wrestling Show, I gave a prediction as to why I think Jay Lethal is returning to Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling, and I'm curious, what are your thoughts on him coming back?
My thoughts on him coming back? I really don't have any thoughts about him coming back. Well, you know what? Welcome back. All I gotta say is be careful, because I got my eye on you. Like I said before, I'm gonna be taking on the biggest names. Now you're returning. You're on my list of receiving an ass whooping. I thank you for all the training, but there's always a time where the student has to surpass the teacher, and now you're making it way too easy for the student to take you on. So welcome back, because the TC got a present waiting for you, and that is an ass whooping that is really lethal, I'll tell you. But welcome back, Jay. We've been missing you when you had your long reign as ROH World Heavyweight Champion. Welcome back.
That's it for this special interview of the Slows Wrestling Show podcast here from the Gulf View Event Center in Newport Richey, Florida. Thank you for your time, True Champ.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the true champ, Andres Reyes. Unfortunately, after his match, I went to talk to the true champ about the results, and he was not too happy about them. And a brawl between True Champ and Dick Danger broke out backstage. Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling Management has no further comments at this time, and it hasn't been confirmed if Andres Reyes and the Compact Cannonball will meet again. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens in the future, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you watched the Royal Rumble this year, something very cool happened. The Rated R superstar Edge made his return to the wrestling ring for the first time in 9 years since his retirement. It opens up the possibility for many dream matches, and I think Edge's first feud back should start off in a big way at WrestleMania 36. We already saw what happened this week on Monday Night Raw, so it will be interesting to see how Edge bounces back next week. The feuds I want to see with Edge are against Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and Sheamus. I'm excited to see him back, I really am. And I never thought he would return to the ring after triple fusion neck surgery a long time ago. Now that he is back, it will make WWE Raw so much better than how it has been in the last year or so. So I can't wait to see where things go from here. It's going to be great. It's going to kick things up a notch for the main brand. Speaking of returns, MVP made his return for one more match on Monday Night Raw. It's sad to see such a good talent stop performing, but MVP is at an age where he can't move as well anymore. And hopefully he'll help with talent backstage on different WWE brands. And he wrestled against so many talents including Matt Hardy, Mark Henry, and other big names. And he was one of my favorites, but time waits for nobody, ladies and gentlemen. And it came to be his time, unfortunately, but hopefully we will see him in a wrestling ring again in the future, and hopefully very, very soon. I will take a break, but when we come back, will John Cena make a return at WrestleMania? MLW Fusion results. AEW Revolution main event announced. Will Hiroshi Tanahashi challenge Naito for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship? New Japan Pro Wrestling US deal in the works, and more on the Slows Wrestling Show.
I gave you everything, held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me.
Welcome back to the Slows Wrestling Show, your source for all things wrestling and sports entertainment. Now I'd like to talk about John Cena. Will he make a return at WrestleMania 36? It is possible, but not confirmed just yet, because Fast 9 filming might still be going on. But if he does return, I would like to see him team with Edge in some sort of matchup, since Cena is his greatest rival ever in this industry. So it would be cool to see them work together, but it's unknown at this time. Now here are the MLW Fusion results. Drago and Puma King defeated Injustice, Jordan Oliver and Cotto Brazil with Mylan Reed, and Black Taurus and Lowrider in a three-way tag team match. Low Kai defeated Chandler Hopkins, and Mace Warner defeated Jimmy Havoc in a no-ropes barbed wire match. Now, according to Wrestling News, the main event for AEW Revolution will take place February 29th, and it will be Jon Moxley versus Chris Jericho for the AEW World Championship. This will be a very awesome match to watch, and I'm predicting that Moxley will go over in this matchup. And it will be a grueling match and a hard-fought one. Jericho is going to go to the limit and show why he is the greatest of all time, so I'm excited to see this matchup for sure. Now, will Hiroshi Tanahashi challenge Naito for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship? At New Japan's New Beginning Tampa show, Hiroshi said after his match that he would like to face Naito for the title, but it's not clear as to where and when just yet. But I'm thinking it will be at a major New Japan wrestling show sometime soon in the future, so we will just have to wait and see what happens next. Now, according to the Sportster, New Japan Pro Wrestling is reportedly starting discussions over a US television deal and could soon find a permanent home on American soil. So if New Japan Pro Wrestling makes a deal with a US television network, it will change the wrestling landscape forever, and it will draw a ton of revenue and viewership from all over the world, including the United States. It will help wrestling fans have more access here in the US to New Japan, so it has to happen somehow. If it does, it will be a huge, huge change, and a big deal for New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. That's going to do it for this week's episode. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at ShowSlows and follow the Slows Wrestling Show Facebook page for further updates. From Palm Harbor, Florida, I'm Alex Slows saying goodbye for now. Have a good evening, everybody.